Today we will talk about XRP and some XLM as well, and how it relates to the XLS-30d amendment now having enough votes to actually pass, and that is for clawbacks, which are very important for adoption by financial institutions and banks. So I do think that a lot of this is actually true, and I will continue to think this even though XRP has not had a lot of extremely interesting price action for a long time now. It did explode in 2017, and since then it hasn't really done a whole lot. But there is long-term value here, in my opinion, because the company Ripple is not trying to pimp out a token. They are trying to create a company that is providing value to very valuable different kinds of institutions and assets in order to work in a new economy that can be very, very valuable. And that is pretty much the wholesale cross-border payments, which is worth, anywhere in between trillions and quadrillions, depending on how you want to approach that review and analysis. So the big news is that the amendment for clawbacks has actually hit an 80% approval, which it has to maintain for 2 weeks, I think, as of January 25th in order to actually pass. And why are clawbacks important for the adoption of the XRPL and XRP for large financial institutions and banks? Well, clawbacks provide the developers the ability to take back tokens from users in some instances, such as when there is fraud or when a user forgets a password. And that part of it right there is probably the most important for actual adoption, because right now crypto isn't as easy to actually transact with because of the perceived difficulty with conducting transactions as compared to just conducting a transaction on a bank app on your phone. And in my opinion, I don't think we will have mass adoption until that becomes a lot easier. So why is it actually important? Well, the financial institutions and banks need clawbacks on the XRPL. Without it, the banks can't have control over these CBDCs on the XRPL. And as we know, banks like to have control. If you want CBDCs on the XRPL, this is required. And I don't think that it's only about CBDCs, and I wouldn't say that I want them, but I do think that we don't really have a path forward that does not involve them in some way, shape, or form. I think that the financial institutions themselves will have their own private networks on the XRPL, and they will want to be able to have more control over those private assets that will still essentially run on the XRPL and transact with fees and everything in terms of XRP. And the more value that comes onto the XRPL, the more valuable XRP actually becomes. And why is all of this particularly interesting right now? Well, that is because here in the US, we have some more action on the regulatory clarity side that is related to why a clawback is actually important. And I think that it is really interesting timing that this clawback amendment just hit the 80% pass rate when we have proposals for regulatory clarity. And I can't say STs, so I will just call these words right here coins. So this is the Senate bill. I think it's 3970, except I have that in another one. Let's check that right here. Yeah, it is 3970. This bill requires a coin issuer to hold all reserves associated with each fiat currency backed coin they issue in certain government securities or fully collateralized security repurchase agreements or US dollars or other non-digital currency. Okay, so then we have one out of the house as well, which is the Clarity for Payment Coins Act. And it seems like these are picking up more and more traction now. So this is the House one, which is House Resolution 4766. This bill establishes a regulatory framework for payment coins, and it's only permitted issuers are allowed to issue a payment coin for use by U.S. persons, and that essentially says the exact same thing as this one, just in some different terms, and as each of those pass and move forward, they will come into line more and more with each other. And it's important to know that these, at this point in time, are being proposed to be 100% backed by some kind of U.S. asset. And that will probably cause some problems for things like Tether, but USDC is much more tied in to the regulatory institutions here in the US, and they have been working with them much more. So I have a lot more trust in USDC as compared to USDT. Now, I think trust isn't exactly the right word, but just comparing USDC and USDT, I would prefer USDC at this point in time. So, ST coins are crypto tokens that are 100% a security contract. The issuer promises you the equivalent of one USD. These contracts and bank redemption tools are available on the issuer website terms and services. So they are bank redemption tools, which sounds a lot like what Clawback actually is. It is a bank redemption tool that will assist these kinds of bank redemption tools as well. So now for XLM. Well, they have already implemented clawbacks and were actually put into place as of AI on June 1st of 2021 as a part of the Protocol 17 upgrade. We are now on Protocol 19, and we are working towards the beginning of Protocol 20 over the next probably 4 weeks or so at this point in time.